Hey everybody, and welcome to the Q&A webinar. We are back. We have been on hiatus for a few months, and we are back now. With me is Andrew Newman, and he's going to be taking the first 10 minutes of the webinar to go through a couple of things that he wants to show you. A couple of housekeeping items. I noticed John actually already submitted a question there in the chat. He wanted to get his question in first. We've actually changed things up a little bit. There is a link there. You should see a little green box. Well, it's green on my side. Not sure what color it is on your side, but it says submit your questions here. If you go to that link, it's going to submit your questions. And hey, Jerem, how you doing? It was good to see you at the event. You'll notice that I actually shaved my beard off if you were at the event, so I probably look a little bit different. But yeah, so go ahead, submit your questions on that link. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That is the wrong link. So hold on. Sorry. Let me change that really quick. Submit your questions. And that is going to be the right link. I apologize. So there we go. And I'll go ahead and add it to the chat also, just in case. So there is the link. So, all right. So submit your questions there. While Andrew is going through, he's going through his intro, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get to your questions in the order that they're received. And in the past, these have run typically about 45 minutes. I'm expecting. Let me see how many people we got here. We got 68 people on the webinar right now. In the past, we've had up to 250 before. So we may not be able to get to everybody's questions, but we'll try to. If we go longer than 45 minutes, we'll go ahead and do that, so that way we can get to your guys' questions. So it looks like we have more people joining us, and got some questions coming in. Another thing also, please take note that we're not able to handle specific support cases on the webinar. So if you have questions that are regarding, billing or things like that in your account, things specific to your account, we're probably not going to be able to, we won't be able to dig into your account here on the webinar. This is more how to do certain things, and we can show you in our accounts on the screen share. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to go ahead and let Andrew take it away. I'm going to go ahead and make him a presenter if I remember how to do that. And everyone should be seeing Andrew now.
I see me, and it says that I am presenting to everyone. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Mark, for that awesome introduction. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to be sharing with you for the first 10 minutes, obviously there is a 30 to 45 second delay in between what we say and what you hear. So while we're getting the questions queued up, that's actually coming in on the side over here, I'm going to be sharing with you how to set up a basic sales funnel. All the way through the process of collecting the opt-in and then segmenting your list on the person who bought. Now, I've taken the liberty already of setting up the actual funnel and a couple of the other elements to that. So let me go ahead and share my screen. You should be able to see that now, I would assume. So you guys are all sitting in the background now. I cannot see what you're typing. So if anything does go crazy, I'm pretty sure Mark will be happy to inform me of that. So as we can see, we've got ourselves a basic sales funnel here, just a squeeze page, a sales page, an order form, order confirmation, and a thank you page. I have also taken the liberty of in Actionetics setting up a action funnel. There's no actual actions in here. We're going to set these up. What's going to happen is a person's going to be added to the list when they opt in. When they go through the sales funnel and make a purchase, they're going to be removed from the list that they were added to when they opted in, and then added to a list of buyers. So that's going to give us pretty basic details on how this process is going to work. So what we're going to do here, we'll just go ahead and get started. Let me find my demo here. There we go. So this is my demonstration page for this particular webinar. And first thing that we've done is all I did was just load up the basic sales page template, grabbed a few templates just to speed the process up so that you guys didn't have to watch me go through and select all that stuff. So the very first step that you're going to need to do in this process is you're going to need to create an email list, a list for the people to opt in and a list for them to be moved to as a buyer. Let me show you how to do that really quick. I've already done the steps, but I want to show you just for your own information purposes. What you'll do is you'll go in here to Actionetics, you'll select email lists, and then from there, you'll have the opportunity of adding a new list. And you can name that list whatever you choose. And of course, if you'd like to tag that, you're welcome to do that and then click create list. Once you've done that, you'll actually have a series of lists in here that we actually have set up somewhere on there. I know I did it, but they're here. I promise, because I put them in there. So what I'll do now is I'll just go back to my funnel, and we're going to go through the process of actually setting this up so that it functions the way we intended to. So the first thing I need to do is I need to go into the editor for the squeeze page, just like so. Now, obviously, this is I've already selected the template. So once you've selected your template, this is the basic functionality of it, how it works. You'll choose the email icon on the right-hand side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select our integration. And I've got a few integrations. Yours might not have as many as mine. I do a lot of testing in my account. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look for the Actionetics integration, which is right here. Okay, so it says Actionetics. Then what we're going to do on the action is we're going to add a person to a list. And then the list that we're going to be adding them to is, where am I at? There we go. Q&A demo opt-in for April 19th, 2016. That's the list that we're going to be adding people to. So we're going to go ahead and save that. So now what's going to happen when you opt into this page is a person's going to automatically be added to that specific list, which is great. Now that we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and exit the editor for that page. And the next page that we're going to
Hey, I'm not sure what happened. Do we still have people here in the room? I actually got booted, and I'm waiting for Andrew to come back on. So while we are waiting for Andrew, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start getting to some questions. And I apologize for that. I'm really not sure what happened. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I can get to your first questions. Oh, there's Andrew.
booted.
Just in time. I don't know what happened there.
I think we all got booted.
All right. So it looks like all the attendees are still watching. We're able to
Okay.
get back on here.
Sorry about that, everybody. Don't know what happened, but let me go ahead and share my screen one more time. And I don't know what you saw and what you didn't. So let me know, Mark, if you can see my screen here.
Yep, we can see your screen. You're presenting to everybody.
Very good.
Go ahead and take it away.
So I'm going to go through the basics once again. I don't know what part, what you saw, what you didn't. So basically what I've done is I've set up a basic sales funnel here and a action funnel to associate with this particular sales funnel. There's a list of people who are going to opt in, as well as a list for people who have ordered the product. And to create a list, when you're doing this process, the very first thing that you're going to want to do once you've created your funnel, and this is just the basic layout when you click select the sales funnel, is you're going to want to create an email list. And how you do that is basically you just come here to the Actionetics tab, click on email lists, and you'll be able to add a new list. Go ahead and name that list whatever you choose, and then you can tag it to group it within your lists. And then you'll create that new list right there. And that will automatically populate one of these little list categories here, and you can see all the different subscriber options, everything that they've done on that particular list. Now, once you've done that, what you'll be able to do next is go back to your funnel. Here on the squeeze page, go into the editor. And I've already selected the templates on this. Obviously, you can select any template that you choose. On the right-hand side here, you're going to have this little email icon. And once you've got that, just go ahead and open that up. I'm going to remove the integration that I added before I got booted, and we're going to redo it again. So here on the integration, what we're going to do is we're going to select the Actionetics from our drop-down menu. And I've got quite a few in mind. You're probably going to have a lot less. You don't do as much testing as we do in the support end. So here it says Actionetics. We're just going to go ahead and click. We're going to select that. Then the action we're going to do in this particular page is we're going to add a person to a list. And the list that we're going to add them to is going to be my Q&A demo opt-in for April 19th, 2016. That's the list that I had created for this specific purpose. So now this particular page, when a person goes to it on the internet, they're going to put their name, their email address, and click the submit button. It's going to save that person's contact details on that one specific list, just like any standard opt-in page. So now that I've saved it, what we're going to do is we're going to go out, and the next thing that we need to edit is actually our order form. Now, this one particular page, we have a sales page in here. That's basically just the sales letter. You can obviously have the order form on that if you choose to, but I don't in this particular case. So we're going to go in here to the order form page. The first thing we're going to need to do here is actually create a product, which I actually did that while we were while I got booted off. So as you can see here, there's the product that I created. This is a $97 product. Here I'm going to add another product just to show you the process one more time. Here we have the name of this product. This is going to be the date product. And the billing integration, this is going to be a Stripe integration. And this one's going to be a $197 product. This case, I'm going to make it a bump just because the other product's not. And it'll be a one-time product. So we can create that product. Now, what I want to do is I want to add a person to the list of buyers. So there's a couple different ways you could do that. The way that I'm going to show you here is, in my opinion, the best practice on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into that actual product there. We're going to click on the editor. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the email integration here. And we're also here, we're going to use our Actionetics integration, just like so. And on submit, as soon as a person clicks the button to buy the product, they're going to be added to a list. And the list that they're going to be added to is going to be my Q&A demo buyers list for April 19th, 2016. So now we have a person who's gone in, they've opted in, they saw the sales letter, they said, yeah, this is awesome, I really want to buy this. They click the button, it takes them over to the order page, they put their credit card information, they submit that, and now it adds them to another list. So once that's all done, this particular process is completed. This funnel is in test mode, so you'll be able to see this in action as soon as we finish this up. The next thing that I need to do is I need to go into my Actionetics and I need to set up a automation so that a person is actually removed from the opt-in list when they're placed on the buyer's list. So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to go to the action funnels, which I've already taken the liberty of creating. And that is right here, April 19th, 2016 demo. And as you can see, this is the basic function of how it looks when you set up your action funnel. The first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to associate this action funnel with a specific list. And how you do that is just simply select the list from your dropdown. And we're going to associate this with the opt-in list. So any person who is actually on the I lied. In this case, we're actually going to associate with the buyer's list. So any person who is on the buyer's list is going to receive the automation sequence from this particular campaign. So we're going to go ahead and update this funnel. And then the first step that we need to do now is in our action step, we need to remove the person from the actual opt-in list, the very first list that they were placed on. So we're going to create our first step, and this is going to be a do action because we're going to be doing something versus sending an email or sending a text message, which obviously you have the options of doing that there. This is going to be a remove from the opt-in list. And obviously you can name that whatever you want. If you want a delay for this, you could set that here in days or in hours. We're going to have this action performed immediately when they actually buy the product. So we're going to go here. And that's it right there as far as that goes. This is all set up. So what we do next is we go into the setup. As you can see, there is a add to list here. So we're going to go ahead and remove from list. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to select the list that we're going to be removing them from, which is the QA demo opt-in from April 19th, 2016. And you can name this remove. All right, from opt-in list. Just like so, and create that step. Then the very last thing that you're going to need to do for this is you're going to need to unpause that so that it actually is live, just like so, and update that action. So now this is a live action, and all we need to do now is go in and test it. So what I'll do is I'll go here to the funnels, and we'll go to our demo funnel. We are in test mode, so make sure we go here to the settings. Scroll down, I'm not in test mode, so we'll toggle that to on. And we will update our funnel. Now we can run through and do a test of our funnel. So I'm going to open the funnel in a new incognito window. I'm going to opt in. And we're going to use our test email address. And this will be plus a bunch of stuff. There we go. So now when we go to the sales page here, that's awesome. We want to go to the next page, which I actually did not set that up. Give me just a second here. Go to our sales page, make sure that we set up all our buttons properly. Go down here to get instant access, and this is going to be the next URL in the funnel. Save it just like so. Okay, so what that does is that when I click that button, that's going to take me to the next page in the funnel, and we will go back out, go back to our incognito window there. And and click the button, and that's going to take me over to the order form page, which is fantastic. Put our email address in there, and good practice would be you'd want this to match, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Doesn't really matter. Put our test card number in, any 3 dates for that, and then complete the order. But what I want to show you first, before we go in, well, actually, that's not going to matter because I used the wrong email address. Let me grab that other email address to make sure that we have the appropriate one. So go here to our contacts. I'm going to grab that email. Go back to my order form page, and we'll place in like so. Okay. So when we go here to the action edits, we'll go into my action funnels, my email list, sorry. And then here we will go to...
Yeah, Andrew, we're getting a couple comments. People can't see your incognito window because I think because you're only sharing the one window.
You are right. So, I'll go through that one more time for you guys. So where's my list at? So you guys can see this screen, right? The one that I'm on now with all these wonderful little lists that I've got in here. So let me go back.
And just so that everyone is aware, there is actually a 30 to 45 second delay. So we're in the future, a few seconds ahead of you guys. So that when you start commenting, Andrew had actually already moved on to another part. So that's why there's a little bit of that delay there.
All right, guys. So basically what you're going to see here, we'll go through this one more time for you. And we'll keep it in the same window. So I'll just come out here. Generally, I should go to an incognito window, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about that right now. And we'll place in our email address. Here it comes to our wonderful little page asking us if we want to buy the product for $29, and it goes up in price when we get to the order form. Then we're going to grab our test card here. So we're going to copy that, and we will go in, place that in, any 3 digits for our test, and any future date. So you guys can see all of that. Basically, this test card number, you can see, get that right up here. That's for use with Stripe. Go ahead and submit that, and it should take us to the next page in our funnel. And it did not. What I did wrong? Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, so now we have our product is here. It's on the confirmation page. Access our purchase. It should take us over to the thank you page, which is perfect. So we'll go ahead and close that. And that is basically the entire process, guys. So what happened here in our action funnel, you'll see this in action now. We have one action step. One action has been taken. It has been removed from the opt-in list. And when the person had purchased, they were placed onto the other list. And you can take a look here and you can see the actions that were performed as well as the date that it was performed. So that is basically it. We've got in 20 minutes now. So I'm pretty sure we've got some questions lining up over here. It looks like we do. So if we want to go ahead and start handling those, that'd be
yeah. Perfect. All right, that was awesome. Thank you, Andrew. The first question is from Bill, and he's asking about video viewers and keeping them on a page. And basically, he said one of the CF agents said I can keep video viewers on a page and not go to YouTube by using a video modal. Now, if I'm not mistaken, let me go ahead and share my screen here. But if I'm not mistaken, it's actually kind of difficult with YouTube to keep people on your page, because the way that YouTube works is they have their branding. It's just part of their terms and conditions. So if you need an unbranded video, you want to keep people on the page, you would need to use something like Wistia or possibly even Vimeo with with the privacy settings. They have more enhanced privacy settings than YouTube. So I've opened up this page in the editor here, and for this video, I'm just going to add this. This was just on the homepage of YouTube, and so I'm going to add this YouTube URL so you can kind of see. And then I'm going to actually add a video modal here. So the video modal is down. Where is that? Oh, right here. And so I'm going to, and I can add a separate image here if I want. Don't have a lot of images in this account. I'll just use that one. That's fine. And then I'll add the same video here. Save that page. And then I'm going to go ahead and preview the page, make sure it's in the same window. And so you can see the video here. This is the one from YouTube. People can click on that and actually takes them to YouTube and starts playing the video. Even during the video, when the video is playing, they can click on that. So this is the video modal. What's going to happen is when someone clicks on this, it's going to pop up the video here, but you can see that the YouTube link still shows up here and will still take users to the YouTube page. So there's not really a way to keep users on the page when you're using YouTube, just because of the way that it's YouTube. They're owned by Google. They backlink to everything, right? So they want people to end up on YouTube. So if you're using YouTube, there's really no way to do that. If you want to keep people on your page and prevent them from clicking through, you'd have to use something like Wistia or something like that. So thank you for that question, Bill. Let's go on to the next question from Ben. It says, topic, advanced survey options. Is it possible to queue and run specific opt-in pages based on specific survey answers after the survey portion is completed? Or do I have to know HTML to program this? Are the answers to the survey questions stored in Actionetics or in a report or other? Thanks. Do you know the answer to that one, Andrew?
Yeah, I do. So as far as being able to have conditional surveys, you're going to actually need to use a third-party service for that. I know that Mark did something with Google, what was it, Google Forms, that has the conditional options when they answer questions. But the built-in survey feature doesn't actually do that as of yet, but it does save the responses. So if you were to set up a series of questions and your subscribers were to go through and they were to answer those, what would happen is in the CSV report, when you download that, your questions are going to be there as well as the responses that they provided to those. It's not going to take them to specific pages based off of what they said in the survey. That would require you to use a little bit of a workaround when it comes to creating a button, yes, no, whatever, and then have it go that way. But the built-in version of it doesn't do that. Mark, if you get any feedback as far as what it was you were using with Google, that was pretty cool on what you did there with that one survey. But
yeah, I mean, basically with Google Forms, I'm not logged into Google right now, so I'm not really able to show you guys that. But basically, with Google Forms, you can do conditional responses. You can send people to different pages or sections of that survey based on their answers. But one of the I don't know if you've all seen the new thing that Russell has released called Funnel University. You actually get access to a survey generator that does exactly that. So you get what's called a bucket question, and that bucket question, based on the user's response, can either go to another survey or to a URL. So the example that I used was, you have a survey question and it says, how much weight do you want to lose? 10 pounds, 20 pounds, or 30 pounds. And so if they say 10 pounds, it takes them to one a sales page that's offering maybe one bottle of your diet supplement. If they say they want to lose 20 pounds, it takes them to a sales page that's offering 2 bottles of your diet supplement. Or if they want to lose more than 30 pounds, it takes them to a sales page that's offering 3 bottles. So something like that. That's a pretty basic example. But you could also use that to send them to another survey that you have set up. So you can basically create this chain of smart surveys. So, I mean, you could even, so you can only have one bucket question per survey in Funnel University, but you could link from one survey to another survey where there's another bucket question, essentially creating this whole chain of conditional surveys and responses. So that's how, that's what I would recommend. I would recommend looking into Funnel University. Lots of cool things there. And so if you don't know about that, go to funnelu.com and check that out. The next question is from John. Actually has 2 questions here saying, my SMS messaging with Twilio isn't working. And with that, John, that's pretty difficult we're not gonna be able to troubleshoot here on the webinar. And if you haven't contacted support yet about that, I would contact support and have them look into that for you. And the second question is, I set up an exit pop that goes to my payment plan for my final OTO, and it isn't showing up on my order confirmation page. And so just with how you set that up, I would actually have to look into that, or one of our support agents could look into how you've set that up. But what it sounds like is if you have an order form going to an OTO and then an exit pop on your order confirmation page, it sounds like the funnel may not be structured properly. For example, you need to have an order page, and then that would be followed by your OTO pages. And then the very, very last page would be your order confirmation page. So if you have an exit pop on your order confirmation page, that would need to go to another order page. If you've already sent them to an order confirmation page, you've terminated that sales funnel, where you can't have another OTO page after your order confirmation page. So once again, I would recommend having our support team message into our support team and have them take a look at it, make sure you have that set up correctly. Next question is from Miguel. He says, overlaying element in ClickFunnels. I used to work with Optimized Press, and they have this nice element, but I haven't been able to see that in the ClickFunnels editor. So overlaying an element. Yeah, that's possible. Do you know how to do that, Andrew, or do you want me to take this one?
I do. That's just the pop up in the thing. Let me see if I can. You guys see my screen, or do I have to share it again?
Oh, I guess I was talking that whole time, and I thought I was presenting, but they were just looking at you, Andrew. So
beautiful view, isn't it? All right, so you guys can see my screen, right? I want to make sure that
Yep, we can see your screen.
Fantastic. All right, so basically this is the same funnel that we were just working on. We'll go to the sales page here as a demonstration. And here in the page editor, there's two different ways that you could have a pop-up. One would be by clicking the button. Another would be as a element when they exit the screen. So the first thing that I'm going to share with you is how to set it up so that if they're exiting, it will overlay on top of the screen a pop-up. So as you can see here in the bottom left of the screen, there's a show pop-up option. So go ahead and click that button. And this is what the pop-up actually will look like. Obviously, you can edit this, make it look like anything you want. You can change the size of it, all kinds of wonderful stuff. And underneath it, when you open the pop-up, you have edit pop-up settings. Scroll down to the bottom here. It's going to show you on exit. It says do not show on exit or show when the user exits. So I'm going to toggle this to show when the user actually exit the browser. And what will happen is if I decide that I don't want to look at your page anymore and I want to get out of here, that particular pop-up is going to show on the screen. So basically, here's what it is. We come out here. I don't like your offer. I'm out of here. Boom, pops over just like that. The other option that you have with this pop-up is to set it up to where it will open on a click. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go into the editor and we'll scroll all the way down here and turn that so that it does not show on the exit. Now you have the choice. You can have it show on exit as well at the same time having it when a person clicks on a button on the page. But in this case, we're just going to do it when they click on the button and close that out. And then we're going to turn this button into the actual action for that. So basically, when you got your button here, we'll just go ahead and here in the URL action, we're going to have that open the pop-up. Go ahead and save that. And then we'll go into the previewer so you can see how this works. So we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. You click that button and it pops right over the top just like so. So actually, Miguel, I think that's what you were asking about. I hope it is. Mark, would you have any feedback? Did we lose you, Mark?
Oh, sorry, I was still muted there. I thought that I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I understood his question a little bit differently. So I don't know, could go either way. And so if you want to overlay just a page element on top of another element, let's see, I'm in the editor here. So for example, if I have, I have this image here and I want to overlay some text on the image, you'd actually have to use CSS for that. So that's a more advanced customization. There aren't any real settings where you could do that. So I would just come in here and then I would have to change this CSS. So I think usually I look a lot of this stuff up just to be sure, but I think position would be relative. And then I would have to change the top and move it down. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong direction. And I'd have to change the Z index, at least one. And so I can move this down even further and just move it down a little bit more. But so now you can see it's overlaying on top of that element, but it also, you're still going to get this space up above there. So you'd have to really mess around with this. You'd have to be familiar with CSS. So that's how you could overlay one element on top of another. The next question is from Elise, and she is asking, I would love to know how to set up a just-in-time automated evergreen webinar using ClickFunnels. So we can definitely go through that real fast. There is also a video in the support desk where I have walked through the entire process. It's about, I don't know how long the video is. It's 10 to 20 minutes long, but basically covers the entire process. So what you're going to do, you're going to click New Funnel. You're going to choose Host Webinar, and I'm going to go through this really, really fast. So we are going to have a replay. I saw a couple of people asking about that. We're going to have a replay of this available. We're going to have that in the support desk. We're also going to have it on the blog in a couple of days. So there will be a replay available of this. I believe if you click the YouTube link on the video in the webinar room that you're in right now, you can actually watch that replay as soon as this is done. So I'm going to go ahead and click Webinar Replay here. Just call this demo webinar. Add this to my demo tag here, build the funnel. So that's going to create these 4 pages: webinar sign up, confirmation page, auto webinar, and webinar replay. So there is a lot of confusion around the webinar replay room, because on the webinar registration page, you're going to see that there is an option to watch the replay now. That does not mean the webinar replay room. That's still going to take them to the webinar broadcast room. The webinar replay room is basically a page where you can have your webinar, and what it's going to do is you can send people that direct link so they don't have to register. So if you want to let your mom watch your webinar without making her opt in, then you would send her this link. It's also the page that's going to be sent to people when they get the replay. So let's see, I think it's in this email here. If they miss the webinar, this replay URL, this is going to be populated with the webinar replay room. You'll notice all these other merge tags here. Webinar title, that's going to be the title of your funnel. Webinar date and time is going to be whatever they select on the registration page. And Winter says his mom watches all his webinars. That's awesome. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and open up the auto webinar registration, because this is kind of where the majority of the magic happens with these auto webinars. So I'm going to open this up in the editor and show you a couple of things here. So first off, you have your registration. It's on the pop-up on this template. You've got your date selector where you can change this text here. So this is going to be the placeholder that appears. You can say select your webinar date. This can be whatever you want in whatever language you want. The replay text is going to be the one that says watch replay now by default. And then the time selector, you can select whether or not you want these times to be available. So if I don't want all these times to be available for the replay, I could turn some of them off. And then you can stylize that. You can add any additional fields that you like. You can also add, if you're integrated with Twilio, you can add the SMS element. Where is that? Is that no longer in here?
It's not in there anymore.
Oh, well, there you go. You can't add that. So anyway, so that's going to be that. There's also a setting, I believe. It's not on this page. It's on the broadcast page. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to preview the page, show you how that works. And so if I register, it's going to say pick your date. If I choose one of the dates, it's going to have me select one of the times. You notice the 2 p.m. and the 6 p.m. are gone because I deselected those. If I choose watch replay now, it's the time selector is not going to appear. So if I register for this, I'm not going to do that because it's not going to work because I don't have a second page. It's going to take me to the webinar countdown page. And this webinar countdown page, I need to select a theme for this. There's a couple here to select, and you can customize these. And there's a couple of things on this page that are dynamic. So when you use the webinar countdown page, it's going to dynamically update with the date and time that they choose. Unless they choose watch replay now, it's going to skip this page and take them directly into the broadcast room. So here's where it's going to display the time automatically. There's going to be a link to add it to their calendar. You can modify this however you like, but these are the elements you kind of need to have for, you can show the time they selected, the date they selected, and all that. So the next one is the webinar broadcast room, and these settings are also very important to pay attention to. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose this one here. And on the same note, in Funnel University, there's actually a webinar chat generator so that you can have chat in your webinars on your pages. So that's another thing that's available when you subscribe to Funnel University. So here, let's go ahead and open this one up in the editor. And you're going to see, this is where you'll add your video. So this can be, you know, any YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, anything you want. Note that if you use YouTube, they will be able to click that YouTube link. So I would recommend using Wistia or HTML5 video that you upload to Amazon or something like that. You can also set up like your call to action here. You can set that up on a time delay. So you can have it, you know, fade in at, you know, 30 minutes in. If that's when your call to action is on your webinar, you can have this section not appear until that time. And then you're also going to see here, where is that setting? There it is. Auto webinar show offer time. You're only going to see this on the broadcast page on your auto webinars. And this needs to be in seconds. So this is going to be when you present. So once again, if I present my call to action at 30 minutes into the webinar, that's what, 1,800 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And so I'm going to put in here 1,800 seconds. And what this is going to do is it's going to affect these emails that are set up automatically on the auto webinar registration page. And you'll see here, there's an email, attended but missed offer, and saw offer but didn't purchase. So how do they know, how does the system know if they saw the offer or missed the offer? That is if they left the page before, oh, that's the wrong page. If they left the page before this time expired. So if you have this set to 30 minutes or 1,800 seconds here, then if they leave the page before that, before they have been on the page longer than 1,800 seconds, they're going to get this email. Did you leave the webinar early? If they stayed after that time, but they didn't purchase your product, they're going to see this. And the way it's going to know if they purchase the product is you're also going to need to add your sales page and your order page here in the same funnel. And that's how it's going to track that. If you add your sales page and order page in another funnel, then it's not, this isn't going to work for you. And then, like I said, you have the webinar replay room, and that's going to show up. That's going to link to this page in that one replay email if they missed the webinar, or you can just send this link to someone to let them watch the webinar without registering. So that is auto webinars in a nutshell. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. I'm going to let Andrew take this one because my throat is dry. The next question is from Eric, and he's asking, can you put a ClickPop on a non-ClickFunnels site?
Absolutely, you can, Eric. Let me see here. Let me show you how to do that. So am I presenting? It looks like I am presenting. So let me share my screen. And we'll grab this page here. It looks like it's got that on there. So you guys should be able to see my screen as of right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here to the editor. Go ahead and exit out of here. And you can do this with any page in ClickFunnels. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is select the page you want. We'll use the squeeze page as an example. And I'm going to go here to the publishing button. So when I click that button, it's going to open up all my options. So here we have the ClickPop code. So we're going to go ahead and open up this. And we've got a couple of options here. We can use an image, or we can use text. We could also have the delay and do it on a mouse exit if we want to. So in this case, I'm going to use an image, and we'll choose an image from inside. I'll just grab that real quick. Should probably, maybe it'll load, I don't know. There is our image right there down on the bottom. And then what we would do, let's say I want this to exit on the mouse exit as well. And let's see if they're on my page for 45 seconds. So if they're on my page for 45 seconds, they click on that image, or if they exit the page, this is going to pop up. So then what I would do is I would simply copy this code, and then I would paste that in my own website. So if I'm using a website such as WordPress, for example, let me log in here.
And now we all know your password.
Yes, you do. If you can, you know how many characters it is.
Dot, 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 dot.
All right, so now from within your editor in WordPress or whatever site you have, what you're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and create a random post here. So give this just a second to catch up while we wait. There we go. We'll add a new one. And then here, this will be a text. And we're going to go here to the text element. We'll just paste that in like so. We'll publish the page, and they'll be able to go out and take a peek as soon as that's all done, and you'll be able to see how this works. So basically, we come out here, we can wait 45 seconds, and the pop-up will actually pop up on its own, or we can click the button right there and it overlays the page. So now also another thing is going to happen. Oops, I hit the back button. When I try to exit the browser, it's going to do the exact same thing. The pop-up happens there, and then obviously the timer, when it expires after 45 seconds, that will automatically pop open that exact same page. Kind of trying to stall here to see if it'll do it. But you guys get the idea on how that works, but that's how you would do it. And you can place that code on any website that you have. So I hope that helps with that, Eric.
And then you also, can you show them how to do that within the plugin itself, with the short codes, with the WordPress plugin?
Not sure if I have the WordPress plugin. I do. Bam. Boom.
Yeah, so if you go to short codes there, you can, there's a couple of things that you can do. You can do the click pops, you can do the welcome gate or click gate or whatever we call it. And if you do the click gate, the difference there is that it's only going to trigger once for a user, and it's going to cookie them, so it doesn't appear every single time they go back to your site.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's the click pop, the click forms. So
yeah, that might be an issue. So we probably still have a bug with our little plugin. There it goes. Okay, cool. Now we go back. Yeah. There it goes. A little bit slow, but there we go. So now we can just go ahead and select our page. And then we have the short code here. Once you get your short code, you can actually go back out and you can place that into your test, just like so. We'll delete all this stuff right here. And bam, we can place our short code in there, update the page, and it does the exact same thing. So it's going to take that funnel and it's going to apply it to our page. This is so slow. Oh my gosh. Boom. Just like that. So this is going to take the text that you have inside of your ClickPop right here. So under the custom text right here, that's what it's going to have right there. So if you put in what I want to say, that's going to show up as far as just like that right there on your page. Let's see if it did it live. Not yet. It might take a few minutes to update, but as you can see, it has the content in there, and then you can pop it up like so. So you can do it from within the plugin as well. But that's just for WordPress. And Eric, if you were asking if you could put it on any website, you would use the HTML code if you're not using a WordPress based website. So I assume that's what you were talking about.
All right. You want to go ahead and grab the next question there, Andrew?
Do that as well. So Steven is asking, how do we clean up the other funnel steps? Relatively simple. I'll show you how to do that as soon as I can close this out. My screen is frozen. Bam. Okay, so this particular funnel actually has some extra funnel steps down here because I created 2 products. And what ClickFunnels does is it automatically creates a thank you page when you create a product. So to clear it out, all you need to do here is just go ahead and open this up. You guys can still see that, right? Yep. Okay, good. And then come on down, select a template. And then once you select a template, you'll be able to remove it from the funnel just by deleting the funnel step right here. So what happens, I go ahead and delete that. And then you will see down here that I actually only have 1 thank you page. So I'll go ahead and walk through that one more time. Go in here, select the page that you want to remove from the other funnel steps. And as soon as that pops up, you'll need to have a template for that. And then as soon as the template pops up, you'll be able to scroll down to the bottom and delete that funnel step. Boom, just like that. And that's how that one works right there. So the next question is coming from Mark Armstrong. And Mark is asking, please run down what happens when an order is placed. How do we set up a sequence of emails? Pretty simple right here, Steve. Sorry about that. So right here, you have a couple of options. On your order page, when a person makes a purchase, as you can see, this is the one that we ran through as a test purchase. You can set this up to add a person to the list, just like we went over at the beginning of the webinar. Or when you have it here, what you can do is you can set up the automation sequence. and you can place in a person who saw the page but didn't purchase, every single person who landed on the page, and every single person who purchased. You'd simply add a new email, and this is going to be from me, and the subject is going to be awesome email, and your SMTP configuration, and the condition is going to be which one of those 3 categories that you want this particular email to fall under. So every person who lands on the page, you can send a sequence to. You can make it to be a person who saw this page, but they didn't click the buy button. Say, hey, what happened? You didn't buy my stuff. It's really cool. You should come back and buy it. And the third one would be once a person purchases. So to directly answer your question, we'll go ahead and set the condition to purchased, and we'll use an email template. And what you're going to see when we go out into the actual form here is that has been placed right here underneath the purchase section. And you can add as many of these emails as you like. If you want to delay them, you have the option of coming in here and delaying that right here. Just simply click on the edit and then email delay right here at the top. Say I want this to go out 1 day after they purchase. Now this particular email is going to go out after 1 day. I can add 5, 6, 7, as many emails as I want to that particular section. Another option that you have is you can actually come in here and you can create an action funnel that is associated with that specific list, just like we did in the beginning of the webinar today. What you would do is just simply go in and set up a series of emails. So you can add a new step. This can be email from Actionetics. We're going to send an email. The delay, we want an hours, days, whatever we would want. In this case, we'll have it go out immediately. We'll select our template right here, and we would unpause that. So as soon as that goes live, that will then begin to send this email. Obviously, we can change our subject line right here. Email, just like so. And one of the things about setting this up in Actionetics versus in the automation tab that's really important is you have the option of setting rules, meaning that if a person purchased product A but didn't purchase product B, or if a person hasn't visited a specific funnel step or anything like that, you can actually set these rules to where a person, say for example here, if they visited the step is equal to the 27 ways. If they have visited that, then we're going to go ahead and send them this email as well. So they purchased the product as well as visited this step. So one of the conditions down here, if it's based off of the product purchase, will be product. And in this case, product is equal to, where are we at? Product 2, and save that rule. So basically what this is going to do is this email right here would not go out unless, number 1, they were subscribed to this list. Number 2, they have visited this step, which is 101 ways to make $100 online, and or have bought the product is equal to my demo test product. So that's 2 ways that you can actually set up that process of sending out emails to go to people who made a purchase of your product. So the next question here is actually coming from Jill. And Jill is asking, will this be recorded for replay? The answer to that, Jill, is yes. As soon as we finish, this video will actually be uploaded onto, number 1, the YouTube channel for ClickFunnels, and in a day or 2, it will be put up on the official ClickFunnels blog. So hope that helps with that question there. And now we have a question coming from Thomas, and Thomas is asking, how do I set a custom URL, and how do I set up an autoresponder if I decide to use an outside autoresponder? So there's 2 questions that you have here. The very first question that you have, Thomas, is it's going to be a little bit more detailed than.
Well, I think for the first question, for the custom URL, I would recommend going to our support desk for that, just because it is kind of a lengthy explanation, and it's very detailed in our support desk. If you search for custom domains in our support desk, support.clickfunnels.com, there's an article that details every step. You just follow exactly those steps exactly, and you'll be good to go. And then to set up an autoresponder, that would also be in your account settings. I'll go ahead and share. Andrew's already going. He's going to integrations in his account, and then he's going to click add new integration. And once he does that, he can give his integration a name, and then he can select the service that he wishes to integrate. So you click that drop down there, and it's going to show you basically, if you want to do MailChimp, Aweber, or whatever it may be. And each one connects differently. As you can see, Aweber just has a button that you connect. With ActiveCampaign, you need your API key and API URL. In Infusionsoft, you need your account subdomain and your API key, I believe. So it's all a little bit different depending on the service. and what they require in order to integrate. So you would integrate there. And then after you've integrated, you'd be able to go into your funnel settings. You can see Usign here. There's some integrations that aren't necessarily for email specifically, but after you set up your integration, you would go into your opt-in page and you would add them under the email tab there, where you would select the integration from that drop-down. And depending on the integration, there's going to be some different actions available. For example, if you're using MailChimp, you can add to a list, or you can add to a list segment, you can remove from a list, different things like that. And so there's a lot of different options there. Add to list, delete from list, things like that. And then you would select the list from that account. So you'd have to have a list set up first. And in some cases, you have to have a form set up for that list. And then the other option would be in your product settings, and that would add only buyers to your list. So if you go to your order form and then your products, and you click on the product settings, you'll notice that in the product settings, there's a whole bunch of tabs. Make sure you go through those tabs every time you set up a new product, so that way you're aware of all the settings that are occurring. So you would just add your contact and this will only trigger for when they purchase the product. So that's really useful if you want to add buyers to a specific list. Next question is from Mark. He's asking, can you add to Actionetics and MailChimp simultaneously?
Yes.
Do you know the answer to that one?
You actually can. What you would need to do is you need to integrate your MailChimp account with ClickFunnels. And then when you go into your actual funnel itself, as long as you have Actionetics in ClickFunnels, what you would do is number one, you'd set up your integration with MailChimp on your email tab button here. And then so basically you just set the integration here to MailChimp. I don't have a MailChimp account, so it's not in there. But then the next thing that you're going to need to do to be able to add the person to your Actionetics list is under the automation tab. You simply select an action, and then under this action will be Actionetics, and then add to the list, and then you just choose whichever list that you want to add them to, and that will simultaneously add a person to both lists. So that is
all right. So the next question is from Roy. I think he's referring to what you went over in the very beginning. He's asking, how can I go ahead and do the same process that we learned here without Actionetics, but with my GetResponse autoresponder? And that's pretty much just going to be the same process, where instead of adding them, we've shown you in the opt-in page where you can add your GetResponse there in the email settings, and then in the product settings you would add GetResponse. So that's pretty much how you would take care of that. You use the same process. It's a little bit different because you wouldn't be able to remove them from the opt-in list unless you set something else on the GetResponse side to automate that, and I'm not sure if GetResponse supports that. The next question is from Christy Joe. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for this one. So let me get that going here for you guys. And Christy Joe is asking, how do I create a clickable HTML phone number for mobile? So let me go ahead and go into my opt-in page here. It's kind of messed up from messing around with it. But let me go ahead and put that back there. And I'm going to get rid of this. So if you want to add a phone number, for example, to your page that someone can click on, there's a couple of different options. One, you can do a headline, and then you can add your phone number. And so you add the phone number, and with some mobile devices, they'll recognize when there's a phone number formatted on the screen. I think iPhones do it automatically. You'll just be able to click that number. But not all mobile devices are the same. So you want to create a hyperlink, and it's really easy. You don't need any custom code. It's just a TEL for telephone, and then you just add that phone number, and that's it. And now you have a link that's going to click to call when somebody clicks on it. And that will also, oops, I edited the wrong color here I need to edit my link. That's what I want to do. I want to change this color so it's white there. A little bit easier to see. There we go. And I can even, underline this here so it looks more like a link. But the other option would be to have a button. So you could have a button that just says, call now. And then in your URL field, just make sure you delete that hashtag and do the exact same thing. TEL : and then just put the number in. Don't format the number. And you just put it in there straight like that. And then the other option would be an image. So if you had like a phone icon or something like that, an image you wanted to use, you could just do the exact same thing, just TEL and add the phone number. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And that's going to create a click to call link. And so when somebody clicks on that, and also, I mean, some computers even support that. I know if I click on a phone number on my computer, it opens up FaceTime and starts trying to call. So there you go. That's how you would add a click to call link. And let's see. The next question is from Kelly. And she's asking, is the ClickFunnels ActionX email functionality and capabilities meant to be a replacement for MailChimp? Yes, indeed. So we understand,
Everybody was saying, Mark, that they couldn't see your screen.
Really?
Yeah, I could see it, but everybody is giving us feedback saying that they could not see your screen.
Oh, man. Well, then rewind. Can everyone see my screen now? No? Yes, no?
I can see it. So, I mean.
All right, that's weird. You should, let me go ahead and let me do something really quick. I'm just going to reshare my screen again. Let's go ahead.
Now I can see it.
And
now I see a flashing Mark cartoon.
All right, should be able to see my screen now. So I'll go ahead and go over that really quickly. I already have everything on the page here. So here I have a headline element, and what I've done is I've just created a hyperlink and used TEL : as the to start that off, and then I had the number not formatted there. And then I would use the same exact link on either a button or an image. And so if you have like a phone icon, like I was saying, you could use that link there. And that would be it. So hopefully you're able to see my screen that time. Next question from Kelly, once again, is ClickFunnels ActionX email functionality and capabilities meant to be a replacement for MailChimp? And yes, it is. So if you are currently using MailChimp and you like it, you can continue to use MailChimp. If you want to check out ActionX, you can. You don't necessarily have to. You could use both if you want. You could use one or the other. But there's a lot of stuff you can do in ActionX that you can't do in MailChimp. For example, sending emails to people who have purchased specific products and things like that. Basically because ActionX is already integrated with ClickFunnels. So you do have a lot more functionality when you use ActionX. Next question is from Lisa. She says, I have two questions. One, how do I add an extra upsell in the order form? I know how to add an entirely new funnel step, but not sure how to add a section to the order form. Okay, so that's referring to like an order bump. So I'm going to go ahead and go to I had a funnel here. You guys should still be able to see my screen. So let's go ahead and go to, I called this webinar funnel, but it's actually my demo. It's not a webinar at all. It's just for this webinar. So I was a little confused by that at first. So you would go to your order form, and when you create your products, you can create an order bump. And so you would create the first product that you create. This is going to be my just regular product. And then you can integrate, with your payment processor, choose the type of product, create the product. And then the second product you create, this is the one. And you can actually have more than one. I mean, you could have 5 products if you want, but the order bump just needs to be the last product that you create. So create all your products first and then your order bump product last. I'm just going to call this order bump. Stripe is going to be a $7 order bump. And I'm going to select one time here, and then I'm going to select this bump box right here, create product. And now on the order form page itself, I'm going to go ahead and open this up in the editor. And you'll see here that I have a bunch of different elements. So you can use the 2-step order form element, and that has an option to toggle the order bump on and off. If you're not using the two-step order form element, then you would add the order bump manually by going here, clicking the order bump, and then you can customize that text and the headline and things like that. You can actually even customize this little flashing arrow with custom CSS, but that's more advanced. But I've done it before just for fun. And so, I mean, that's about it. That's how you would add that order bump. And so when someone comes to your page, they would basically, I'll show you what they would see. So they would see the one product right here. And then if they check this box, it would add that second product. So actually, I'll show you so you know that I'm not lying to you. I added the order summary thing here. And if I preview it now, you'll see when I click this box, it adds the order bump product down here to the order summary. So I can just click that and it'll add that order bump product. And that's how that works. The second question from Lisa, for the extra upsell funnel page, should that appear before or after the order form? So let me go back to the funnel here. Let me close out some of these tabs actually, just because after a while you have too many tabs, it just gets real confusing. So if I want to have upsells, all my upsells should come after the order form and before the order confirmation. So I'm going to add a new funnel step. I'm going to add an OTO upsell. And I'm going to select yes, show in funnel. And then I'm also going to add an OTO downsell. Explain a little bit about how those work. So now you can see I have to actually choose the proper template. So for my downsell page, I'm going to click a one-click downsell template. And it needs to be the downsell page type in order for what I'm going to show you to work. Then I'm going to go back to my upsell page. And I'm going to select the upsell. I'm just going to select the same template here. So the templates are the same for both upsells and downsells, but the page type is what matters. You'll notice here it says OTO page, little subheading, and right here it says OTO downsell page. So I'm going to drag this up here under the order form. I'm going to drag the downsell right here. So here's how this works. When someone places the order, it's going to take them to the upsell page. If this person says yes to the upsell, it's going to take them directly to this order confirmation page. They're going to skip this downsell. If somebody says no to the upsell, it's going to take them to the downsell. So you can have multiple upsell pages here. Call this OTO number 2. I can show you a couple of different variations of how this works. So this is going to be another upsell page. And I'm going to go ahead and just drag this one up here. So now you can see I have order form, upsell, upsell, downsell. So the way that this is going to work, the person places their order here. They click yes on this page. It takes them here. They click no on this page. It's still going to take them to the next upsell. On this page, if the person clicks yes, it's going to take them to the order confirmation. If they click no, it's going to take them to the downsell. So downsell pages will only display if the preceding upsell page, the user says no. Upsell pages will always be shown no matter what, whether the person says yes or no. If you want to send, you can't actually send people to a downsell page from your order form page. So if you want to have like a, buyer capture. So if somebody if they try to exit the page on your order form, you need to have an exit pop that presents the downsell offer, and then you would actually take them to a separate order page where they would purchase that quote unquote downsell offer. Terry says you lost me. I'm still here. Can you still?
I can still see you.
All right. Well, I hope everyone can still see me. So next question is from Barbara, and you want to go ahead and take that one,
Absolutely. Andrew? Okay, so Barbara is asking, where am I at? There we go. Okay, if I have a lower payment plan, can I still do a membership area for my customers? And with the same plan, can you also do live and automated webinars? Now, Barbara, I'm assuming that you're talking about the ClickFunnels plan, the $97 plan, and the answer to that is yes. You can have every type of funnel that there is in ClickFunnels. The only thing that you will not have access to is Actionetics and Backpack. Those are the two offers that you're not going to be able to get. Sorry, my throat's dry. With the lower level plan, but you can still create the membership area. You can still do every type of funnel that ClickFunnels allows you to build. So I hope that answers your question. The next question is from Jerem. Jerem is asking, can you show how to log into test mode and where you can use the test card? Absolutely. Give me just a second to log into my page there. And where am I at? Boom, there we go. So you should be able to see my screen now. Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
Yep, we can see it.
All right, perfect. So from your funnel, what you're going to need to do to set test mode is just simply go into the settings right here, scroll down on your page, and you will see for Stripe, actually, you'll see right here, you can toggle test mode on and you can toggle it off right there. And then the test card, if you go to your order form page, which you'll do here, just open that up in an incognito window. The test card actually populates right here at the top.
We can't see your incognito window, Andrew.
Right, I'm sharing one screen, so we'll just do it like this. We'll open it in a new tab. So you can see this one, right? All right, so right here you'll see that your funnel's actually in test mode, and then your test card is right there. So you can just copy that. If you want to take that down, put that in, you can paste that right in there. Your CVC code is your credit card verification code. You can choose any 3 numbers and then any future date for the expiration. And then when you click the order, that's actually going to take you into the next page here, which will then populate your order. Now I have 2 on here, obviously, because I'm not in an incognito window, and we've already gone through and tested this funnel at the beginning of the webinar. So I hope that actually answers your question, Jerome. Now Barbara's asking another one. Also, if I need help with my funnel, can you actually go into my funnel and help me with editing and making changes? Barbara, for that particular thing, what we like to do in ClickFunnels support is we like to teach you to fish rather than give you a fish, if you understand the metaphor. So basically what we would do is, a lot of us in the support team, what we would do is we'd log into your account, and with any of the questions that you have, we would show you how to make those adjustments. Just like we're doing here live on the webinar, where we're giving you kind of a hands-on tutorial. We would do the exact same thing when it comes down to being able to help you with your pages itself. Now, if you're looking for somebody to go in there and actually edit your funnel, do that kind of thing, we have a list of very qualified certified consultants that you can tap into and see if any of them would be open and have time to be able to help you build out your funnels, if that's what it was that you were looking for. So as far as that goes, Mark, do you have any feedback for Barbara? I think we muted him.
Sorry, yeah, I was muted. So I think when it comes to helping and making changes, there's things that we can have troubleshooting and fix. I'm getting an echo on. Are you broadcasting?
I'm not getting an echo. I don't.
Oh, maybe it's just me.
It's possible.
All right, so support is there to help, like I said, troubleshoot and fix, help you fix things in your account. We're not there to help you actually build out the pages and do it for you. So if there's something that you have a question on how to do something, we can gladly help you and show you how to do that. But when it comes to actually building out the pages, then we would recommend, like Andrew said, going with one of our certified consultants. We are going long on time, and there are a lot of questions that I would love to get to, but I don't think that we're going to be able to get to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to pick one of these questions, and let's see. I'm going to go with Ben's question about the affiliate tag. So if you've noticed on your pages, let me go ahead and share my screen again. I need to share this window here. Should be able to see my screen. So can you see it, Andrew?
I can.
Okay. So if you see my screen, actually I don't have the affiliate tag on my page. Let's see. I might have it turned off. I usually don't even bother turning it off. Let's go into account details. Oh, it is off. So here's where you would make sure that the affiliate badge is turned off. But this is only going to affect new pages that you create. It's not going to affect existing pages. So if you turn this off here, you'll still have to go back into your existing pages. And I'll show you how you do that. So you come into your funnel, you would open the editor. And looks like I didn't save any of my changes from before with the phone numbers, but you would come into your settings and select here. You can choose whether or not you want to show or hide the affiliate badge. One thing I've found sometimes is even when you update this, if it doesn't take, what I do is I come back in here, save the page, change the settings, save the page, change the setting again.
Not being able to see your screen again.
What's that?
We're getting reports of not being able to see your screen again.
Really
Another
weird
thing is there's a lot of people talking about how blurry the screen is, and what that is, guys, is that's actually a bandwidth issue on your end there, because what we're using is Webinar Jam. Webinar Jam uses Google Hangouts, so it's just a YouTube video that's playing in here. So what's happening is that's where the blur is coming from if you're getting it on your end. Generally, if you just let it kind of run for a little bit, it'll smooth out. And they're saying they see the picture of me. So am I still sharing my screen? I'm not sharing my screen.
No, it says that I'm presenting and screen sharing.
I can see your screen.
Well, let's go ahead and just try this again here really quick. Share screen. Not sure why it's doing that, but you should be able to see my screen now. So like I was saying, you can come into your page here in the settings, go to ClickFunnels affiliate badge, hide or show. If it's still showing, I would just come back in here, set it to show, save it, then set it to hide again, save it, and that usually does the trick. And the other thing I was showing you is in your account settings under account details, you can turn it off here. But this, when you turn this off, it's only going to affect new pages that you create, but not existing pages. So that's about it. I'm going to actually have Andrew pick out a question that he wants to take, and this is going to be the last question. And I apologize we couldn't get to everyone's questions, but we really enjoyed doing this and love answering all your questions as much as we can. So go ahead and pick one out of the list, Andrew, and it'll be our last question for today.
All right, so I'm just going to go with the one right below, the one that you just answered, which is actually coming from Thomas asking how to customize the URL. That's the custom domain thing that we were talking about earlier in the webinar. Well, let me go ahead and take over my screen. I'll show you where the settings are, but to actually get a comprehensive view as to, let me pull up my good old screen here, of how to actually set that up. The best thing for you to do would be to open up either a support ticket, have one of the support agents help you, or on the other side of that, just go to support.clickfunnels.com and type in custom domain. And that will actually give you a pretty good video. Oh, it's not a video anymore. It's actually a tutorial on how to do this. But the first thing that you're going to need to do to set this up is basically just go into your, make sure you guys can see it. Can you see the little window there, Mark?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so let's say, for example, I want to use the webinar funnel that we did today. As you can see, this is a ClickFunnels subdomain on this particular one. There's 3 areas on the page. Once you've set up your custom domain in here under custom domains, using Cloudflare, we're not going to go through the Cloudflare steps and all that stuff. As you can see, I've got a few custom domains in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use one of those custom domains to show you how to make it work on your actual page itself. Because a lot of people, they get stuck on this part because they put it in and it doesn't work. So they'll open up a ticket and they'll ask why it's not working. So the first one that you're going to want to pay attention to is this funnel, this URL at the top of the funnel. This is the primary URL for the funnel. So when you send somebody to that link, they're going to start off, it's going to take them directly to the first page in your funnel. And what you'll do here is you'll go into the settings. And when you open up your settings, you have the domain name. And you'll see a list here of all the custom domains that you have for your funnel. And once you do this and you save it, just go ahead and select it there and save that. What's going to happen is it's going to change your URL up here, but it's not going to change any of the URLs on the pages themselves. But if we were to add a new funnel step, as you can see, the domain is already populated right there. So that's going to do that for the rest of the pages that you add to your funnel. It's going to automatically update them for that particular custom domain. Now, If you had not set that custom domain prior to adding the pages to your funnel, there's a couple of things that you're going to need to do. The first place is you're going to need to edit this domain right here. That's the obvious one, right? So right here, you have these settings. Just go ahead and open that up. And what will happen is you'll have the opportunity of selecting your custom domain here and selecting the path. And something that's really important to take note of is ClickFunnels will only allow you to have one path per domain. You can't have, say, for example, squeeze page on several different domains. It just won't work. So what it does is it adds on this little bunch of letters and numbers, just a bunch of gobbledygook on the end of that. You can actually change that just by going in, deleting that end piece there. I like to add a 1 or something to make this a unique path for that particular page. And the reason why I add 1 to that is because this particular URL is basically a rotator URL. So it's going to rotate in between your split tests. If you don't have a split test, it's simply going to forward over to this one. So we'll show you how that's going to work up here in the address bar. If you watch, we'll do this is we'll open this in a new tab. And you'll see that that just kind of forwarded over to the subdomain that's actually assigned to that page. And the reason why it does that, and this is where we get a lot of support requests because of it not doing that, is it's actually the URL for this page itself. So what you do is you'll go into the settings here as well, and you'll be able to select your domain. And then right here, you can change the path on that particular domain. This is going to be the squeeze page, and then we'll update that. And then what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and open this up in a new tab, and you'll see there that it didn't do it yet. Give me just a second. Make sure that I saved it. I did save it. Okay. Update the page, and then we'll do that one more time just to show you what it does. But it's not saving. Probably cookied. I bet it'll do it if I go to an incognito window. Watch. Yeah, it works on the incognito window, which you guys can't see at the moment, but that's the 3 places that you have to pay attention to when you are setting up your custom domain. Now, obviously, there's a few more steps that you're going to need to do prior to getting to this point. That's going to be inside of Cloudflare, scanning your domain, making sure that your CNAMEs are all set up properly. That's not something that we'll do here in this particular webinar because it's a lot more detailed. And it'll probably take another 20 to 30 minutes to go through and explain that to you. So what we do is just simply go to support.clickfunnels.com, and you can actually look up the custom domains, because we did have 2 questions about that so far in the webinar here. So this should give you kind of a basic rundown as to where you need to pay attention to adjust those. One here at the top under the settings tab for the main funnel, and then one here under the settings for the dashboard that's going to show you between the 2 pages. And then the third one is right here in the actual page itself. So that's it right there. I hope that helps. It's been a pleasure, as always, spending this time with you guys. Glad to be doing the Q&A webinars again for you guys every single week. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Mark, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, and it's great to have everyone. And we'll be here next week. I'll be here along with one of our other support leads, Sean. And so we'll be able to answer your questions. If we didn't get to your questions, you can please feel free to send them to our support team so that they can help you out with that. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks for coming out.